conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. Hello and welcome once again to the Benjamin Zulu Global. My good name is Janik and it's always a pleasure to have you tuned in. And please drop us a comment. Tell us where you tuned in from, where you're watching us from, and if you have any comment, question, feel free to interact with us on our comment section. And today we want to jump into a rather sensitive but very important conversation to have: how to date after being hurt. And you know, they say that time heals all wounds, but also they say that hurt people. You know, wounded people tend to also wound the people around them, at times not intentional. How much time should one take before you know, even in the healing process, before we even get to jumping into dating? How much time should one take in the healing process?
Okay, I'll also ask you a similar question. How long should you go after learning that your car is a puncture?
Not long. Not at all.
So time itself means nothing. Time is like distance. They're just metrics for measuring. So if I tell you, please bring me 5 meters, you'll ask me 5 meters
Of what? Yes.
No, at 5 meters, please.
Yes.
So if I say also, please take 5 months, you should also ask me 5 months of what? So time itself has no meaning. People want to know how much time. It depends on what you're doing in that time. Some people take 1 year of hiding.
Yeah.
Another took 1 year of healing, actually working, digging up, changing things, going back, revisiting, talking, affirming, hearing different message, taking in different things. It's not how long, it's how much work. Some people say how long they should date before they move to the next stage. And I tell you, what does your stage activity, what is your dating activities? If you talk barely, the time itself will not accumulate anything.
Yeah.
If you talk constantly, yes, there's I don't expect you're married within 1 month of meeting. There's that bare minimum of letting the full cycle of people's life display. They start, you expect, you know, to see how they do around this time and the other time.
Right.
But after you are hurt, if it was a finger that was broken, the doctor will bandage and you may still go around with a broken finger. Heartbreaks are not the same, although we are using the term heart, but it's not really this physical hurt. It's emotional pain. And that emotional trauma has dimensions and how much pain, how deeply it went, what it meant to you, how it hurt you. It's like an accident. So please assess what damage it did to you. Don't say, we are all dealing with heartbreaks, you know, everybody has a pain, everybody is rejected. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You lose according to how much you are invested.
True.
If robbery happens, you don't say, okay, so because everybody are robbed, we are going to compensate only 1 million, everybody. What was robbed? Somebody was robbed 1 phone, another 100 computers. That's what a loss in relationship is. What did you really lose?
Yeah.
Some people didn't lose anything, they were just holding space. You know, sometimes people date you because you are the best in sight.
You're available at the moment.
They even tell you, you're the best I've ever seen. You're not really, so if another one shows up, some people are not exposed and you're just on their next level of exposure.
Yeah.
That's actually the story of college dating. People are not exposed and you're the best they've been exposed to so far.
Yeah.
You know?
They're from the village, straight from the village. So when they come here.
And truly, some go and get married at second year. I think it's person they met second year. And I tell them only that it's very hard to admit, but to maintain the choice you made when you were so young, throughout life, it's a more strain than if you let yourself mature and even meet yourself.
Right.
Wearing good clothes. You just meet yourself in front of people. You meet yourself and then see life.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes we marry after many years of dating to make, so that we don't lose all those many years. It's not that it's still the right decision. We just try to make good of the investment. So it's not how long, it's how much work you've managed to do.
Yeah.
And how the wound is responding. Doctors cannot give commitment that your patient will be out. When they can't diagnose what it is, they want, but it depends on what we are treating. You know? You can't say, how much do you charge surgery for a leg? surgery for a leg. What are you operating on? How long will it take? I want to know first before I come. No, you have to assess.
Yeah.
So don't look for that straightforward. So today we are discussing how to date again after being hurt. This is a subject that is very close to my heart after I discovered that more than half of people don't get it right the first time. In theory, life is straight line. You get ready, you date, you marry, have children, happily ever after. When you come to real life, now you find tweaks and corners. The story of Abigail in the Bible had a corner. The story of Bathsheba in the Bible had a corner. The story of Ruth had a corner. So was the story of so Ruth and Naomi were in the same category, and many women in the Bible that will not be preached a lot because they don't mesh with the patriarchal philosophy of today. And most churches are headed by men, and the philosophy is controlled by men. Even the officiating during wedding men are men. So the story of second time after Nabal dies and that woman marries David, after somebody lusts on another man's wife and sleeps with her, she conceives, and he realizes he's been getting to crisis, sets up the other guy to die and marries this one. And actually that woman ends up being the success. The children from this woman becomes the success, when actually we had other women married there properly. That side of God is very hard to understand. And people rather leave it. This is just they avoid it. They don't preach you that side.
Yeah.
They think they're encouraging you to see. Honestly. You know, the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. And God, he was given punishment that was very severe, because he told you, you have killed a man with a sword, and sword will never leave your house. You have slept with somebody's wife, another man will sleep with your women. You did it in secret, I'll do it in the sight of all his son. And it was his son sleeping with his 10 concubines on a rooftop. But after, and the child whom you got this illegally will die. But after that, they moved on, him and God. So the child they got next, God loved him and even named him Jedidiah for the Lord. And that was Solomon. And that's how the succession, that's the genealogy where our Lord came to be born. So most people, because we are human, we can't reconcile so much forgiveness and compassion. So generally avoid. That is very hard to preach to people. So you will not hear it. That's why I tell people, go and read some things for yourself. Nobody will bring them to you. They are too deep for most people. Because I think they're encouraging. This is the biggest encouragement, that whoever has gone whatever you have gone through, you don't have to write yourself off. Today we are telling the story of not only death and divorce. Those are some of it, because some of divorces are just, they're not even divorces, just stupid things. Some people are not quite married.
In the first place.
So you can't even call it divorce. There was no paper. But there was years spent together, children, time gone, known by everybody, combined our resource, built our, oh my God. So some people are coming a second time after something that has no name. But it consumed their life. It moved them from single to somewhere else. They can no longer be who they were. But unconsciously they gave everything on credit, and the borrower defaulted. Never lend what you can't live without, in case they don't pay back. It's a good advice in the market.
True.
Don't lend the amount of money that if they default, you're finished. Even if it's your brother.
That is wisdom right there.
You know?
Yeah.
I heard the story of, I think it was Royal Media. When they were starting, he borrowed money from Equity. They knew each other, the guys. He borrowed so much. The guy told him, if you don't pay, I'm finished. I can't afford this kind of you. But they were teasing because of friends. And it's because there was another trust. That's how he could go so far. I just want you to know that the same way you wouldn't lend your beloved sister all your savings, plus your child's school fees and the rent for next month, don't lend your life.
Yeah.
The borrower might die.
Life happens.
They might just have estimated badly. The sea is not kind to them. Their voyage drowned.
Yeah.
They also get into other problems.
Yeah.
Why are we selling our life on credit when you don't have another one? So some people are trying to date for a second time after selling their life on credit.
Yeah. And it's very hard to bounce back. Very hard.
Many never bounce back. Some people just shut.
Yeah.
So why do you need to bounce back? Johnny, let's admit this. Marriage is not something by the side, a property you have in Kilifi. Marriage is a container for your life, all of it. That's one place you come in and you bring your money, bring your feelings, bring your social life, you get children there, you bring your property there. Everything once you get married, it is contained in that vehicle. So it's safe to say the speed of this vehicle will be the speed of your life.
Right.
The stability of this vehicle will be the stability of your life. The temperature in this vehicle. There's one person, Janik, who can make you not show up for work, even if we have not wronged you. Your husband. Some people can remove pressure, and you are not yourself. When you go to work and you are lost in space, you are, hey, are you here? Okay, I'm back. And some people, in order to diffuse your pressure, they don't even need to say anything. They just need to say nothing. That's a very...
The silence becomes too loud.
It's a lot of power.
True. True.
Or they just reply with okay, and you are finished.
Yeah.
So marriage is so powerful that person, even by just doing small things, if that relationship, even you imagining the relationship going bad, then you get a child. And I need to know the children have 10 different cries. Babies,
when they're hungry, when they need to be changed.
Lower gas, upper gas. They give you sounds. And then there's another terrible cry of terror. When you think the child has stepped on fire. A very painful cry that makes you drop everything and jump. So one of the problems we have not been told about marriage is that sometimes it is actually the vehicle to your destiny. And the reason there's so much contention around it, it's because with it, when it is done well, when you do marriage well, you'll end up in a very different destiny, life story. You'll end up in very different results. You'll end up in very different ending to your life. When the marriage is done badly, that's almost hard to shake you away from. I can see you're holding something.
Yes, I'm holding this wonderful book, Dating Rights. And just allow me to pick an extract here from the second chapter.
Yes.
Always imagining the worst case scenarios. And you find that
Yes.
this becomes a reality for so many people who've been hurt.
Yes.
They're always preempting something bad. And you capture it so well. You say that your mind is always cooking up dangers that never happened and asking you to brace for them. It makes you stiff and on high alert, and sometimes you project those fears on people and they're surprised. So you find that the people who are trying to embrace you in love, you're pushing them away because you first of all want to analyze
I've
from
been
afar.
stabbed before. You also trying to stab me.
Yes.
That rumination and preoccupation with the worst case scenario is self-sabotage. It's conditioned anticipation of doom. And it's when we don't heal from the trauma of rejection.
Right.
And thank you for bringing it up, because we are discussing how to date again after that kind of an incident that made you believe that you're not lucky. The first step towards dating, that we can link it up there when you're coming from pain, is to believe that marriage is destiny and the dating is the crossing of the Jordan to your promised land.
Right.
There's something beyond human about marriage. After we explained that it will be the fruit of your life, it will be how many lives you will touch. That will be the base you're standing, so that you can touch the world. The base that you can sing your song. The base to write your story. The base to touch life. The base to do charity. The base to serve. After we establish that actually that's where you go after you finish everything, that's where you come from. You come from there to the world, and you go there after the world. That's why you feed, that's why you carry your food, that's why you find that's why you strength, hope, planning. That's why you rest, that's why you replay. That marriage becomes your container through your base. Therefore, it is more than a logistical thing. To me, it's spiritual. It nourishes your spirit.
Yeah.
That's what gives you self-esteem and confidence and hope, energy and stability. And if it's unstable by itself, even if you're very good athlete elsewhere, good performer elsewhere, you'll be shaky.
Yeah, yeah.
If it is a strong support, you can fail there, try again, fail because you are strongly supported.
Very true. Very true. And you find that these insecurities, at times you project them without even knowing. Is this an indication that you've not fully healed from whatever trauma you went through?
Now that we have anticipated that this marriage will attach everything to your life, if it is so positive, how much resistance will there be? How many mistakes, how many setups, how many blunders they are likely to be before you get something positive. Last time you tried to buy a good car, try a good house, you saw how many scammers there are in that market. How many lies and con game and fake currency and everything. Every place where money is huge, the effect is so big. The scamming level is also
higher.
Thank you. So the reason we are so hurt by love is because the scamming level is very high. The stakes are so high.
Yeah.
These are souls. These are human souls. When you read the Revelation, you'll be shocked. The merchandise that were being sold. When the Great Babylon was merchandising things, so there were wheat, wood, there were horses, there was slaves, and then there were souls of men. The highest commodity is not money, it's the souls of men. That's the highest commodity. We use money to buy people. People are the real currency. That's why having followers, having fame, being known, having influence, it's so powerful. You hear people quarreling over it as if it were currency. That's power, pure power.
Yeah.
Ability to move opinions, to influence elections, to influence buying. People even pay you to make people buy their commodity. That's influence. They call them influencers to make the influence. It's currency. People's attention itself is sold.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much contention around right marriage. I tell you the truth, anybody who is intentional will be hurt by love at some point. I've not met one exception. I'm not predicting doom, heartbreak, breaks, everybody. I'm just saying, I find that true love and true people are hated because they thrive. When a person is honest, marries another honest person, that's a magical connection. They create magic. They raise children who are healthy, who don't need to drink till they drop overnight. So they're not good customers for the club. They raise kids who cannot be scammed by the scammers who say, bring everything, I remove the cars out of your life. People who are grounded. They themselves, they can live within their means, so they don't need to overborrow, they don't need to fight, they eat right, they don't have those explosive conditions that come from poor gut health. Good marriages are container for good health, good children, good money, like good everything.
All round. It becomes an all round.
That's why when you try to reach for good marriage, the positions are 100.
Yeah.
Now you get it. So let's stop stigmatizing those who have been heartbroken. That's the way of life.
Yeah.
This thing is highly contested. Let's accept it.
Yeah.
You know?
Everyone is running towards that prize.
Everybody wants good marriage.
Yeah.
And when you try to get it, you are deceived into thinking people fake to be good like you so that you can marry them. They just end up swindling you. Many parents know the problem of finding a good person. So they misadvise us to tell us to grab as early as we find them. When you reach college, you know there are no single people anywhere in the world. Come on with 2 degrees. So because they don't know. They just know that it's hard to find a good person. But they don't know phases of life that I should find myself first and evolve myself for that good person. They tell me to grab early. And then I create the same short-circuiting they were trying to spare me for. Those who marry right are aware that marry right is so hard. Those who married wrong, some of them have ruled out that there isn't good marriage anywhere. It's so hard. Some people are just actually ruled out.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know good marriage requires discipline? You can't just be sleeping with the people you're dating in order to marry right. You're aware of that? Sex is very sweet, but you can't be doing it anyhow if you want to marry right. In fact, only bad people have nothing to offer can sleep with anything. Those who have integrity and the future and the dreams and the honesty and the care and the heart can't be careless. They'll be trapped easily.
Right. Right. It's almost like dating is a stepping stone. So what you invest in dating,
yes.
you know, gives you the end result in marriage.
And casual sex is for casual people. Marriage is not casual.
Please say it again. That was so good.
Yes, casual sex is for casual people.
Yeah.
And some people, they know you're too principled, so they don't come approaching, say, they ask for a relationship because they know now you're gullible enough to think because of a relationship, you're talking about future and getting married, now they can sleep with you. After they're done with it, they'll move to the next. Many people are coming from that kind of being deceived. Then they think we are serious now, let's live together, let's get a child, second child. Only to realize it was a con game after 10 years, 12 years. And also because you're hardworking, you're carrying this woman, you're carrying this man, giving them a status and a life in society, until you build a business, until you build them, they have more money now to go to the life they really wanted that has no law. They start saying, no, me, I'm free, I'm a free spirit, I'm polygamy, I'm this. While they were with you when you're building them, they did not have the leeway to say those kind of nonsenses. And I tell men to always marry women who have shown their true colors. College girls are not shown their true colors. They may be, I don't want you to marry a woman who is also an alpha. But when she's at secondary university, she looks very low key. Her nature is showing by around 26, 25, when she's already in your place with a child, and she's a restless soul who wants to conquer the southern East Africa, south of Sahara, and she's going after it. She wants to live life. And now you're the enemy of progress. Anytime you try to say we need to live small, you are the embodiment of our obstacles. And she shows you the toxic side, you know, because you know she will remain small. It's a short set. You should change yourself when you marry people before they show who they really are. One day they will come of age. And they will see others living their life. That farmer who collected an egg in the farm and thinking it's a chicken egg and brought it to one of the chicken to hatch, to brood together with the other eggs. And when they were finally hatched, the chicken was very different than others. It was not cooing, it was not learning how to, even in fact its claws were funny, twisted, and the beak was not eating grains well. This chick was out of place, although it was hatched in a decent home. Many people are being hatched in marriage and they're not fitting. Until one day it saw another bird producing a sound that sounded more attractive,
familiar,
and it tried that, and that came off. These birds here don't fly the chicken here, they just look for somewhere to sleep. That one is flying very high. This guy attempted, is doing better than all this chicken by the first attempt, and it kept passing the big bird. One day it just managed to fly and followed it. How many people are finally seeing the nature they belong to when they are being brewed, put among just chicken? Believe marriage is your destiny. It will carry your whole life, and therefore that's why it's a fight. Many people stopped trying because they say, what's the point? If I can be happy alone, just others say, let me just get a child. You're just complicating and making permanent a situation that was supposed to be a fight, surrendering to the battle and the quitting, and it will not benefit you. You may get the child out of quitting, but many times, let me remind young people, that child is not just a child. Sometimes children come with a twist, a story.
And actually they connect you to that person forever. So
and then they resemble them striking. They
can't even deny that.
You know, sometimes children resemble you until you're embarrassed. Even your funny quirks.
Yes. The
way you
speak, your character.
These little things here I speak. They have not been here. Why are they mirroring you so much? And then they just minding their business. No, that's me again. There's no DNA needed. Even small quirks. You may find yourself stranded. But I wanted to warn young people who don't have enough money yet and they're carelessly sleeping whoever they're calling boyfriend. You may get a child with a special need and you're finished. I don't know why they forget that part. It's possible for a child not to be completely normal, at least in the first few years of life. For 10 years, you're moving in hospitals, you're doing therapies, you're doing specialists, special food, special treatment. The agony I have seen. And when you get these children, these boyfriends, 99% always run away because they're not here for commitment. They're having some good time. And they then push you to pregnancy to pin you more down to them because they know that's irreversible. And they're just a form of control. So congratulations if you're having a boyfriend that every now and then you smash. Continue. Just know that might be used negotiating your destiny for a morsel of bread.
Yeah, that's true. I wish people can see it from that angle because we forget that, you know, we start investing now.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing is a seed.
We have reduced it to a meeting allowance, a meeting and girlfriend.
Wow.
Then the guy would have been a prince. Have you noticed many princes or great people in society have a baby mama somewhere because they weren't behaving like a commoner when they were younger. Before their star showed, they thought they can just eat and like Judah and wipe your teeth, your mouth, and go. Then when you smashed casually, you get twins. You get Perez and Zira, and you're getting them with your daughter-in-law.
My goodness, that's only
a complication when you thought you're just relieving yourself.
Yeah.
Princes, listen to me. Men who have a future, stop behaving like commoners. You're not commoner. Everybody else knows you're a prince. Everybody else who sees stars. The baby was born, and the wise men said, we have seen a star. And we have come to worship. Why are you worshiping a baby? We have seen the future.
Yeah.
Some people can see your future.
That's true.
Only you can see it. These were magicians. To tell you, even the kids, the other kingdom can see your star.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Let's talk about men for a minute.
Yes.
Especially if the lady is the one who's hurt.
Yes.
The ladies tend to bring up a lot of comparison. For example, when they walk into a different relationship, they're like, oh, the other person used to do this, and that's how they ended up hurting me. And for them, they're almost like saying they are protecting themselves so that they don't go through the same pain that they went through. So they're addressing things that this person is not necessarily doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you bring that because it ties to the second point of how to date again when you've been hurt. So the first point is to see it as the container for my destiny. That's why there's so much opposition and contention. When the dogs bark so hard, because whatever is approaching is so big. It cannot be a rat.
Yeah.
It must be a lion. The second point is to see it as a leveling up challenge. Once you have been heartbroken, discouraged, and now you want to still achieve marriage, you believe you're meant for it, maybe I need to go to my version 2.0. Change the way you're doing everything. Drop your naive trusting of people on credit. I'll trust you, you prove me wrong. You're being stupid now. Let people earn trust. It goes the other way.
Yes.
Show me why I should trust you.
Right.
Be consistent to see how much I can invest. Learn not to say, to move ancient boundaries. Say, sex is no big deal, we are grown-ups. God said it's sacred and he sealed it with a membrane of blood. Unless you're trying to call him a fool. You move ancient boundaries, you pay a price. People who come dating second time think, no rules now as long as we are grown-ups. Your feelings and your soul are eternal. They don't know time. Your body feels late. Your ego feels late. Because you are that something already. Because you're already, you're not virgin anyway, neither am I. And because your soul is eternal. It's attaching so strongly because it is not remembering I'm old. Your feelings are as intense. All real people are intense, connected with the present. Because people want to reduce you to a place they can use you. They say, don't overthink things. I'm so petty. Tell them, no. The Bible says David went into Bathsheba. You are going into... It's a journey.
That's true.
This is not... There is nothing casual here. So we are saying the thing you need to realize about the second return is that when you see it as a challenge to become, for example, Benjamin 2.0, Joannic 2.0, you're saying, I need to change my mindset around how I approach the conversations, the dialogue, who I entertained, who I talked to, and perhaps if I married being who I was, the marriage would have been a cementing of a wounded me. But now if I marry when I am who I am, it will be an inauguration of salt of a healed me. So I think for me, the second element is saying I'm being called up to a bigger person. And once I become the bigger person, the bigger marriage will then materialize.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very true. And just before I jump onto this chapter 5, entanglements.
Yes.
Very interesting. Just the different things, the various forms and shapes of entanglements.
Yes.
And there's an interesting story right here. Someone is saying, I was heartbroken and sad.
Yes.
And they give their experience of how it was. And when you are narrating what you're going through, let me just read a part of it. But the problem is this man has never stopped calling me till now. I have tried to ignore him several times, but I still find myself talking to him because I find peace whenever I talk to him. And now we are in the same town and we do meet each other often. He said he still has feelings for me. What should I do? And for more information, grab yourself this book so that you understand the whole story.
Yes.
But my question is it important to seek closure from the person who hurt you? Like, just have a heart-to-heart and tell them, this is what you did, this is what you did not do, and this is how I ended up being hurt, so that they don't hurt someone else.
So sometimes some people are mature enough to allow you to give them feedback and to soothe you. Closure, we're looking for soothing, reassurance, validation. But a lot of people just run away. They don't give us the privilege of a closure.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to condition your moving on the other person's availability to comfort you. It's very hard to give yourself the last conversation. But there are times you just have to give yourself that conversation.
Yeah.
Learn to use therapists, counselors, coaches, a space that is for you to be heard. Even if not by the person who hurt you, to be heard. To express and be validated.
Yeah.
So don't keep running. The way she kept lingering around him because she associates him with closure. And she got hung up emotionally on the last feeling they had.
Right.
Time has moved on and you're opening doors. One reason we never move forward from a past relationship because we're always looking that direction. We're still thinking about them, opening doors, chatting, emotionally engaging and all that. One way to move forward is to make sure you only look back on a side mirror. Side mirrors are small mirrors and you only look them when you need to. You use the front, you take your energy forward.
Yeah.
There's a time to reflect on something I once did and it taught me this lesson, but you don't turn back to engage. Don't turn back to talk. Don't turn back to discuss. So we are saying sometimes the reason you cannot marry afresh after that hurt, because you were hurt, but you have not let go. You have not released. You maintain hope. You're waiting for them to regret leaving you. You're following up what happened to them. You're making calls to contacts there. You're still looking online to see how they're suffering, but you find that they're not suffering. One lady kept driving by the home of the ex to show her good car. And when she comes nearby there, she lowers the windows, blasts the music. And she kept, until after 2 years of that exercise, she learned that he had left 3 years back.
Moved out.
This man had moved out of that neighborhood. So sometimes we are still performing to imaginary audience because we have not released. Yes.
Yeah, very true. Very well said. And if that is you today, please grab yourself a copy of this book, Dating Right. There's dating, but there's dating right. And this is going to be a great investment for you, even for someone else who you know has gone through hurt and pain and would like to move on in life. Please order yourself a copy on www.benjaminzuluglobal.com. And that's all the time we had for you. See you next time.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential.